Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's program. My name is Tom LaHood. I'm part of the SCORE Minnesota Education Committee. I'd like to welcome you to the simple recipe for social media success. In a few moments, we'll be handing over to our speaker, Ken Countess, to take us through the presentation. A few notes, housekeeping notes to share with you as well. Today's program will be recorded, and we will be sending you out a replay link as well as a copy of this presentation. Your questions are welcome. Please submit them in the chat window. Let us know what's on your mind, if there are any questions that you would like to ask throughout the presentation, and then we will get to those questions towards the end. We'll leave about 10 to 15 minutes to address your questions. For those of you who are new to SCORE or are relatively new to SCORE, I've not worked with SCORE, and for those of you who have been working with SCORE, welcome everyone. SCORE has been around for more than 60 years. Last year we celebrated 60 years. And SCORE is really focused on a nonprofit mission as an independent resource partner for the SBA, the U.S. Small Business Administration, providing small businesses with free and confidential mentoring in any stage of the business, from its inception all the way to closing the business. Our local chapter in Manatee and Sarasota counties offers multiple educational resources, such as the webinar you've joined today. And overall, we have approximately 90 volunteers who are dedicated to serving our members in this community for more than 50 years. And finally, we're really proud of the recognition we achieved recently as the National Chapter of the Year for mid-sized markets. A little more about the process itself. Again, for anyone who's new to SCORE or even the ones who are currently working with a SCORE mentor, remember that SCORE is available to assist you in any stage of your business life cycle. So I know many of you think of SCORE as a place to reach out and contact whenever you are planning to launch a business as a startup stage or early in the stages of launching a business. But we are also available to help you grow your business once you are well established and founded. If you're looking for additional support, we're definitely here for you. And also, I can tell you from experience, we've engaged with many businesses who are looking to exit, to sell, or even close the business. So we are part of the entire life cycle. The SCORE team of volunteers, as noted on the slide, is definitely motivated and can help you with guidance and support along the entire business journey. And a moment here to recognize the support we also receive from our sponsors and community partners in both counties. You see here on the screen, they have been wonderful, not only providing us with the support we need, but also helping volunteer their time and their resources by joining and hosting some of our webinars. So be on the lookout for many upcoming webinars hosted by our chapter that highlight and reflect the support from these sponsors. And finally, before I introduce our our presenter today, I'd like you to take a moment to visit our website, score.org/Minnesota, where you can request a mentor, but also take a look at the resources available, including many replays from previous webinars, and also a lot of resources and collateral, such as presentation decks and a variety of other material. So with that, I'll take a moment to introduce Ken Countess, who has been gracious with his time, helped us to organize this webinar. Ken, thank you so much. For everyone on the call, Ken is an internationally recognized and accredited expert on email marketing and also other marketing topics. He's an award-winning marketer and business coach and has been one of Constant Contact's top worldwide trainers for over a decade. Over his career, Ken launched many successful multi-million-dollar products and services for 4 of the Fortune 100 companies. Ken is known for making complex topics easy to understand, and also as a regular speaker and presenter at conventions and trade shows, as well as many SCORE events. He's helped over 10,000 businesses learn best practices in digital marketing, and one of his clients recently grew her sales more than 10 times in under 1 year with what Ken had taught her about email marketing. Ken has also hosted Everything Email podcast and a frequent presenter for Chambers of Commerce, as I mentioned, SCORE, chapters, small business development centers, trade associations, and many other organizations. And with that, I'd like to turn over to Ken. Thank you. Welcome. Please take over the presentation.
Thank you so much, Tom, and good morning, everybody. I guess it's still morning no matter where you are, unless you're somewhere in Europe or Asia or Africa. It's a pleasure to be here this morning, and I absolutely love having this opportunity to spend some time with you today. Hopefully, at this point, you could see my first slide, which you should be seeing a simple recipe for social media success. And if you can see it, go ahead and let us know that. I will, let me just take a look here at one of my other windows. Okay. So you can give us a thumbs up or just let us know that you see what I'm showing. And welcome to all of you. I see a lot of familiar names here in the attendee list. It's a pleasure to be with you. I am in Orlando. I know many of you, not all of you, but many of you are in the Manatee, Sarasota, Bradenton area. I do see some names on the list that I recognize from outside the area. Awesome. Good. I'm glad you all can see it. Hi, Doris and Celeste and Donna both are in Lakeland. Welcome to you. Let me know where you're joining us from. Go ahead and put the city that you're joining us from in the chat. Thank you, Doris in Newport Richey. And Maria, Luisa, I recognize your name. Glad you're here. And Alex is in Sarasota. I have a couple of sons who used to go to New College years ago. So we made the trip back and forth to Sarasota many times from the Orlando area. Hello to Lutz and Cape Coral and Naples and New Orleans. Hey, good to have you with us. Good to have everybody with us today. Now, we're going to spend just under, Alexandra's in Germany. Hello, Germany. Alexandra, you get the distance award. And Linnell in Chicago. Good to see so many familiar names. We're going to talk about a simple recipe for social media success. We're going to run under an hour. We're going to have you out of here sometime around 10 to 12, 5 to 12 Eastern. You can make the adjustment for wherever you are. But there will be time for questions. And I do encourage you to use the chat. I'll be looking at the chat live. That's where I'll be answering the questions from. All right. If you're joining me for the first time, this is the question I always start with, which is, why are you here today? And I think I know the answer. It's that you want to make more money. So if that's you, you're in the right place. Now, I know that your time is valuable, very valuable, but I do appreciate and I'm honored by the fact that you took time out of your busy day to be with me. I'm going to invite you to remove all distractions because we're only here for a short amount of time. And I know that you may be distracted. You know, your smartphone's got texts and they're, you know, banging away at you for your attention. And maybe you're checking email and all of that stuff. It'll all be there in another 45 minutes. So you can put everything to the side. This way you can spend your time focused on what we're here to talk about. It'll give you an opportunity to ask questions. And when you do have questions, as Tom mentioned, go ahead and put those in the chat. Now, how do you get the greatest benefit out of this session? Well, you can get a copy of my presentation. And I know Tom and the SCORE team will send one to you. I have a slightly different version that you can get access to even more quickly, and here's how. I will put a link in the chat, and what I invite you to do is to go ahead and click that link, and this way the browser will open. You don't have to fill anything out now, but I want you to be sure you get access to it. And so you'll get access to that, you'll get access to that by going here. And I'm going to actually provide Tom with the link. And Tom, if you were able to share that with everybody on the chat, that would be great. So
Dude, thanks.
this is how we do it all. And once again, I know the SCORE folks will be sending you even more resources later on. All right. So if you are ready, go ahead and put a yes in the chat. Let's see who's first. Thank you, Tom. Celeste says, yes. Oh, good. I see everybody's ready. So let's go ahead and get started. And by the way, don't be afraid to let me know the struggles you're having with marketing. We're going to be focused on social media marketing, but go ahead and ask your questions. And Aaron, I see yours come in. I will scroll back into the chat periodically so we can make sure we get all your questions. I could literally spend days teaching you everything there is to know about social media marketing, but we only have a few minutes together. So let's go ahead and get started. Are you ready? I know you said yes already. So here we go. The social media process is part of the entire sales process. But the thing is, not everybody's checking social media every day. What you really want to do is use your social media as a magnet to attract people to you, much the same as if you were meeting with them in person, right? But what we do with social media is we try to mimic what we do in person online. And oftentimes that may be through things like a Zoom chat. But the whole idea here is that you want to be able to connect with people just as if you might do it in person or on the phone. Social media, though, works a little bit differently because we're doing that online. And what we're going to try to do, and what I'm going to show you how to do, is how to get people to connect with you and stay engaged with you online. And sometimes that takes a little bit of time. It's not an instantaneous thing. We don't look for immediate gratification when we're trying to reach people online. We're trying to build a relationship. So we're going to talk about how to do that with a very simple recipe for social media success. The essence is this: social media can help you grow. And it doesn't have to be overwhelming or take a lot of time. Listen, as a small business, you may have heard that you need to be on social media in order to grow your business. That's true. But the thought of how to get started, which channels to be on, how to engage with people and get results that grow your business can seem overwhelming. And I know that as a small business, you don't have a lot of time or resources to help you get started with it and keep up with social media. So we're going to take a look at why using social media for your business or nonprofit can be so powerful. And Ian, I see your note about how to follow up. I'm going to invite you to do is use the email address that you see at the bottom of every slide, lower right-hand corner. That's the email address you would use to reach out to me. You can go to my website. You can use the phone number there to call or text me, but that's the best way to get in touch and stay in touch. Aaron's asking, does social media work both ways for profit and nonprofits? Well, yes, it does, but the approach is just a little bit different. And I'll talk about how and why in a few minutes. Lisa says, hey, I just started a Nextdoor ad. I'm getting a couple of clicks on my website each day. How long should I expect it takes to get sales results? And how many times does someone need to see my ad to feel comfortable? We're going to talk about exactly that. So stay tuned. Hey, consumers want to find you. In fact, many of them are more likely to buy from brands that they can reach on social media. So while you want to use email and social and certainly rely on your website, people are going to trust you more when they can find you in multiple places. Aaron's asking about contact to follow up with a mentor. We can handle that as well. So listen, the bottom line with social media is that you can influence people using social. 37% of consumers' purchasing decisions are actually influenced or inspired by their friends' social media posts, something that's really going to help spread the word about your business. Aaron, I see your note. Send me an email and we'll get you connected. Encourage support for your cause. Social media is great for that. So, for you, those of you who are nonprofits, 84% share information via social media in order to help spread the word for a cause. And these stats right here are just a few of the reasons that you should be using social media. Today, I'm going to touch on how you can get started without spending a lot of time and feeling overwhelmed. I want to thank Tom for giving that great introduction. My name's Ken Countess. If we haven't met yet, glad to meet you today. I'm a 40-year marketing veteran. Maybe you see the white stuff here on my face. I've been around doing this a while. I worked for 4 Fortune 100 companies, had a corner office, did a lot of things for a lot of great companies that are proud to have as part of my background. But I've spent the last 25 years helping businesses just like yours learn how to grow with digital marketing. You see the logos on a few of the companies I've worked for. I've been a SCORE Gold and Platinum partner for years. Tom mentioned the Everything Email podcast. You can find it just about anywhere you go for your podcast. I'm Constant Contact's authorized local expert. I've been a partner of theirs since 2011. I'm highly recommended and a Business Person of the Year on Alignable. Okay, enough about me. Here's what we're going to cover. We're going to talk about how you choose the right social networks for your business. They're different, and it's important to distinguish between them so you can figure out what fits right for you. I'll talk about the 15-minute social media plan and then how you might get started with paid social ads. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. Let's talk about choosing the right social networks. But before I talk about specifics for specific social platforms, it's really important to understand the fundamental goals that your social activities should be accomplishing. And if you're not meeting goals, you may feel like you're just spinning your wheels and wasting time with social media. So, we're going to break it down into 3 goals that you want to make sure you're accomplishing with the resources and time that you do have for social media. And they are awareness, customer service, and action. Now, you'll notice as I dive into these goals a bit more that they can be tethered together in many ways. Generating awareness and providing customer service via social media will often help you to drive more action and engagement. So, the first goal is awareness, which really helps you to get found and build interest in your business or organization. And if you're not on social media, you're sure to be missing out on opportunities to be found. Social media is a tool that can also help with SEO, search engine optimization, which makes it easier to find you. When people are doing an online search, they'll go to Google and search for the type of business or service they're looking for. And ideally, you want your business to pop up in those search results with your website and your social pages. Another thing that people are doing is they're going to a platform like Facebook or Instagram, and they're looking for your business there directly. They're doing this because they want to see deeper information about who you are and where you're located, and they're going to be looking at your information and deciding whether they want to do business with you. So, social media is one of the first places they look. Social media is a huge source of word of mouth for your business. All of the interactions you have will help to generate awareness for your business, and social media generates more awareness because of the connections of people that engage with you. It allows more people to see those interactions. And basically, people need to find you and they need to see that you're interacting with people and that you're a trustworthy business or nonprofit. Now, one of the hesitations I hear from small businesses about using social media is that it can be hard to quantify and measure the impact. And in terms of measuring whether you're getting enough awareness, look at how things like foot traffic and when you can, ask people how they found out about you. Or if you're getting them to sign up to your email list online or in store, ask them when they heard about you. Now, the second goal you want to accomplish with your social media efforts is customer service. This is something that's super important in today's world. That's because nearly half of consumers visit social media as one of the first channels they'll go to if they have questions or issues. And those who receive good customer service via X, formerly known as Twitter, they're likely to spend 20% more and are 30% more likely to recommend your brand. Providing customer service in turn tethers back to awareness. Remember, I mentioned that earlier. Because the more people who see you interacting and providing great customer service, the more trustworthy you look to those who are just finding your business for the first time. Now, there are two sides to this. You're going to be able to find those people who like your business and can who leave reviews and share their experiences. And this gives you the opportunity to win over those who don't like your business. Or maybe they have feedback for you. And that's your chance to convert those people to make them happy and show others you truly do care. People just want to be heard, right? We all want to be heard. And you want to show them that you're engaging and listening to people. Providing customer service allows you to control the narrative for your business. And while that might sound scary to some of you, you can try to help and improve the experience. Now, in terms of how to engage success, how to gauge success with customer service, look at your total interactions on your social pages. Look at the mentions to understand if you're seeing more or less, because again, this relates back to generating awareness for new customers and prospects for your business. Now, the third goal you want to accomplish with your social media efforts is getting people to take action. You want to push them from visibility of the other two goals into really driving your business or organization, right? After all, that's what it's all about, getting more business. You want to ask them to do something. It might be to buy something, go to your event, donate to your cause if you're a nonprofit. And for this, you need to think about what you need the most. If you're a nonprofit, it might mean volunteers or donations. And if you're a for profit business, you typically want to have people make a purchase or sign up for a membership. Your fans will follow you for a reason. So it's important to ask them to do something, even if it's providing a link back to your blog post or your website. You want to create a craving and get people interacting with you. You want them to share photos of their visit to your location, or even share how they're using and loving your products, and even share your posts. So take a look at how other businesses are successfully using social media to get some ideas for yourself. Also, keep an eye on what your competitors are doing. See what they're doing that's drawing engagement and awareness to come up with strategies that will help you to essentially steal business from your competitors and make you stand out. So, I've talked about these goals to really focus on for creating awareness, providing customer service, and getting people to take action. And later on, these goals are going to play a role in how you're planning to spend your time and effort on social media. So Aaron asks, so do we as businesses need to advertise on all social media platforms? No, then you don't, Aaron, and I'll tell you why in a few moments. Social platforms are proven to drive success. And you see those icons in the lower right-hand corner? I'm going to spend a short amount of time on each of those to give you a feel for where you might want to focus for your business. Because remember, I said every platform is a little bit different. Your business is different than your competitors. Your business is different. Maybe you're in a different industry, and different industries will do better on certain social platforms than others. Let's start with the 800-pound gorilla, and that's Facebook. Why do you use Facebook? Well, it's got a huge reach, and it's great for a variety of business types. So what do you post on Facebook? Well, really just about anything. Videos, photos, links, event information. What you're really trying to do, your primary goal, is to trigger an emotional reaction. Now, it's a little bit tricky sometimes because Facebook has a news feed algorithm. You may or may not have heard of this before, and you may or may not be sure what an algorithm is. What an algorithm does is it defines how far and wide your posts will reach, and it's underpinned by a few key elements. Now, here's an example of how different posts may reach different kinds of people. This timeline here shows you that some organic posts, meaning those that are not paid, got better interaction than others. And here you can see in the Facebook analytics page, if you're running a business and you want to take a look at the Facebook analytics, this will give you a sense of how they work, where you can actually see post by post how much engagement you are getting, what the reach has been, the engagement in terms of likes and comments, and then you have an opportunity to boost a post. And boosting a post, if you're not familiar with that term, that's the very quick and easy way to pay to get greater distribution or greater visibility on the posts that you do. Now, let's talk a little bit about the news feed algorithm. The algorithm does a few things. First and foremost, it looks at who posted the post. So that's how often a user engages with a profile or a person, and that plays a role in determining the search. So if you regularly like or comment on posts from a page, you'll see more of its posts. These algorithms are trained in such a way that if you find a page or a group or a company that you like, and you're constantly clicking likes or constantly making comments, which are even better, by the way, their content will show up more frequently in your newsfeed. It's kind of interesting how that works, and you might want to try it. Aaron's asking, is it legal to pay to post? Yeah, 100%. It's advertising. And Facebook and the other social tools are more and more becoming a pay to play place to be doing your marketing. So here, this shows you how different kinds of posts give you different kinds of interactions. And in this example, we're showing you how different posts are engaged with by the audience. So the home page clearly is getting the most interactions, followed by people checking out something about the poster. So this is something from my own page, by the way. And you could see people are coming to the page on a regular basis. More often than not, they're clicking the About link in my profile to learn a little bit more about who I am and what I do. Facebook's news algorithm also tracks when things are posted. Timeliness is always a factor, but the initial post response, how often people will interact with you, that plays a part in what goes on. And you can check in your analytics. And by the way, this is a look at my Facebook analytics from yesterday. And this looks over a 30-day period. And what this is telling me is that most of my posts are getting viewed between 6 a.m. and 12 noon. So, what it tells me intellectually is that I will get greater engagement during the days and times of day when I know more people are likely to be finding my stuff online when it's fresh. So, not late afternoon between 3 and 6 p.m. I get the least engagement then. For me, my business, and yours may be different, it's during the morning and then late in the evening. Now, Facebook's news algorithm also figures out how likely a user will engage with the content. The algorithm will predict how likely someone might be to comment on a story. It also will estimate how long it thinks users might watch a video for, or how long they might read an article. And then it'll also give you a good sense of the age distribution of the people who are already following you. Once again, this is a live shot from yesterday of my primary audience. And as you can see here, my audience skews pretty heavily toward male, pretty good number female, and age-wise, my posts tend to resonate more with people from age 25 to 54. Not too much on the young side, a little, pretty good activity on the older crowd, but the sweet spot for me is people age 25 to 54. That's important information for you to take a look at periodically because it'll give you a sense too of the kind of imagery and language that will appeal to your primary audience. Now, Facebook's algorithms heavily favor video. Live videos get an average of 6 times as many interactions as regular videos. And in terms of video stats, more than 4 billion video views are on Facebook every day. 500 million viewers watch 100 million hours of video on content on Facebook every single day. And most video views are by mobile users. So if you're creating video, make sure that you do them in such a way that you understand that people looking at it on a small screen need to be able to see, because most video views on Facebook are with the sound off. So that's a vote for captioning your videos whenever you can. Aaron's asking, can we alter the algorithm to your advantage? No, that's something Facebook owns. And that's a vote for using email marketing because you control the conversation. You control who sees your content. You can measure exactly who's looking at your stuff and for how long. Let's switch gears and talk a little bit about X. X is, you probably know, the name that was Twitter. X is a nonstop feed of content focused on conversation and information sharing. Videos, photos, links, event information. It's a mobile first platform, just like Instagram. Instagram is another 800-pound gorilla in the social media space. It's mobile first, and it's primarily photos and videos, just like what you see here. People are scrolling quickly through Instagram, so you want to be sure that the content you provide on Instagram is easily digestible. So when it comes to video, for different social platforms, there are different ideal video lengths. On Instagram, it's half a minute. On X, you get a little bit more latitude. Facebook, the average or ideal video length is 1 minute, and on YouTube, it's 2 minutes. So don't spend a lot of time creating stuff that's really, really long. People move on to the next thing. So get to the point quickly, but do for sure use video. That is the way you'll get the most engagement. Let's switch gears now and go to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the professional or more B2B oriented social media platform of the group. You post links, event registrations, some long form content can go out there, but trust me when I tell you, the average person is scrolling quickly through the LinkedIn newsfeed just like all the other social. And so you want to be sure that you get to the point quickly. Just post on a regular basis and let them engage with you. Get them to trust your content. Now, relatively new on the scene, but taking the world by storm is TikTok. And TikTok's been around actually for quite a few years already. It's a pre pandemic phenomenon, but it has grown so rapidly and it's used primarily by the younger set, people aged 18 to 35. And you can see the breakdown by age here. It skews primarily female, but you can see how quickly it's grown over time. Creators of TikTok videos tend to be in the younger age set. You can see by the shorter bars down below that people aged 35 and up are not typically the TikTok content creators. TikTok can be a lot of fun to use, but don't be overwhelmed and don't try to be everywhere. Stick to the social platforms that are best for your business. And especially if you're just getting started or you're struggling to manage multiple channels, I recommend that you choose one platform to really focus your efforts. And this way you can figure out what's working and what doesn't, and then adjust your strategy to get results moving forward. Now, I hear all the time about how businesses don't have enough people to follow them. And the truth is, you do have to do a little bit of work to increase your following. So let's spend a moment on how to do that. One of my favorite ways is to search for people and follow them. Depending on your business, you can search for people in your local area, which might be good for a local restaurant or a boutique, or you could search for hashtags that are related to your business. And once you follow them, you'll have a good chance of people following you back. And you also want to ask your current customers that you're already having conversations with. That means you'll want to ask people who are on your email list. Just add a social media block that links to your active social channels and ask them to follow you. And don't forget about those in-person interactions as well. If you're out networking or someone's making a purchase in a store, tell them to check out your social page and follow you there to stay up to date. Let's spend a few minutes on the channels that you want to be on for your business. But we'll talk about how you'll manage and use your social channels. Remember back to this slide where we talked about the 3 goals of social media: awareness, customer service, and action. You want to focus your efforts to meet those 3 goals. But don't overthink it. Just break it down into 5 minutes for each of these each day. Your plan needs to include time for each of these goals. You want to be thoughtful about it. So you want to be thoughtful about creating awareness, providing customer service, and encourage action. The shorter amount of time, 5 minutes, will make your social media efforts more manageable. And over time with this plan, you'll be able to learn what's working best for you. So let's talk about generating awareness. On the screen here, I've got some examples of sharing a menu or your business updates. So for this, think about maybe changes in your office hours or something like that. You might share some scenes about behind the scenes rather of how your product is made. And you can also create awareness by sharing your own blog content or even sharing industry information that relates back to your business. I do want to mention that creating awareness about your business on social is going to vary for different kinds of businesses. The idea is create content and keywords that help you show up when someone searches online. Let's move to the second goal, which is spending time providing customer service. Here are a couple of examples. Make sure that you monitor your mentions so you can respond and engage with them once a day or more urgently if needed. Check out and respond to people who have rated or reviewed your business on Facebook. You may want to respond to them if it's good or bad feedback, and check out those answers you get. And then there are a ton of different things that you can do to encourage action from your followers. Create a Facebook event, share posts to encourage people to take action. Think about asking users to generate content for you too. And I'm sure you're sitting here thinking about how you won't be able to figure out what information to share. First, I want to mention that you want to have a variety of content. Don't try to sell all the time. You want to have a good variety of helpful content that's strictly promotional, or you're selling a product or asking for donations, but share your email content on social media. That's the shortcut I use. I will create an email in Constant Contact and then share that on social media. Share your blog content. It makes for great content on social. And tweak the messaging for each platform. If you're looking to find and share industry news, you can find a lot on X. You could use feedly.com. Those are great resources for you. And we've had some questions come in about paid social advertising. Let's talk about that. Social media really has changed a lot. And in fact, what we found is that about a third of millennials have permanently deleted their social media accounts. I've got 3 sons. They're all in their 30s or close to 30. 2 of the 3 have completely eliminated social media. But for those who are still using it, social ads are very cost effective, but they can be very hard to understand. So let's spend a couple of minutes on giving you some tips on how to use social ads. Number one, be sure that you're targeting the right audience, because you're going to pay every time your ad is either viewed or clicked on. So understand the demographics of your business. Narrow your ads by demographics, location, behaviors, and interests. And when you do that, you'll be able to create a custom audience so you can get the most out of your ads. You can create a custom audience. Facebook will also create something called a lookalike audience. Facebook will actually go out and find the people who look similar based on their Facebook profiles to people you're trying to target to help you grow your audience. And you can segment your Facebook ads any number of ways, including those custom audiences I just mentioned, by location, gender, interest, language, education, relationship status, married, single, divorced, you get the idea. Ethnicity, generational, are you looking for older or younger people? Maybe their political views or their behaviors, their connections. There are lots of ways that you can zero in on the right people. Facebook will help you design and publish your ad as well. So think about the social goals that I talked about and think about how you might design and publish your ad. This is an example of an ad from Half Moon Yoga Studio. And so take a look at the image. The image of women here is what they're trying to go after. This is their target audience. And so when you use imagery that resembles the people you're looking for, that's the best way to advertise your business or nonprofit. Rob's asking, how do you narrow down your target audience? Is there a particular process? I'm going to offer you a tool in a few minutes, Rob, to give you a head start on that. The way you target your audience is basically have an ad that answers three simple questions. What's your product? How does it help the consumer? And then how do they get it? The bottom line on successful advertising is this: less is more. Don't try to cram everything you can about your product or service into an ad. People aren't going to read more than the first couple of words. They're going to look at the image and decide whether they want to go further. So your ad should communicate the value without being salesy. Take a look at this ad right here. Grandpa to grandson bracelet half off. In 4 words, they say everything there is to know. So make sure that you match your Facebook ad copy to your imagery. Here's an example from Lyft. If you do ride sharing at all, if you know Uber, you may know Lyft. They compete with one another. Lyft's ad here says, hey, we'll pick you up in no time at all. It's pretty eye-catching, isn't it? Or how about this one from Doodly? All you need to do is look at the picture and you can see fairly quickly what it is that they offer. And in this ad, 75% off. It's really all about the call to action. The call to action means what happens when they click on the ad. So in this example, take a look at it. The button is pointing to subscribe. Half Moon Yoga wants people to subscribe to their list. Email is what you control. Remember that. They may see you on Facebook one day and the next day not see you at all. But if you get them to subscribe to your mailing list, then you know you've captured them, and then you control the conversation. Aaron asked, do we do ads for target audience? Yes. Yeah, you want to target as best you can. And time frame of ad shows, yes, you can set it up to only run certain times of the day or certain days of the week. You have great control. Amy says, hey, I want to check out Half Moon Yoga. That's a great example. They do a wonderful job with social media, but there are other yoga studios too. If yoga is what you're into, Amy, just do a search for hashtags and so on, and you'll be all good to go. So lastly, let's talk about engaging leads. Once you get those leads, once you have them sign up for your list, then you can automate the process so that you can continue to stay in touch without having to be a slave to your computer. We teach people how to engage their leads with email automation. And you'll find that you really do not need a big budget in order to do it. If we have a couple of minutes, and I'm not sure we will, I'll do a demo, but one thing I will offer you is if you would like to have me do a demo on how all this stuff works, I'm happy to do that. Just schedule a call with me. So let's recap. Social goals are to create awareness, to provide great customer service. And by the way, customer service door swings both ways, right? People may be thrilled with what you do. That's an easy one to say thank you. If they're not thrilled, this is a great way to repair that relationship, and it shows people that you care about your customers. And make sure your goals are also that they're action oriented. Just spend 15 minutes a day on those goals, and use social ads to reach new people. I've been answering questions along the way. I see Noor has another one, and I will go ahead and answer that in just a moment. My question for you as we begin to wrap things up is, are you ready to take your business to the next level? I mean, are you really ready? Well, then take action. I've got 3 things for you to do. Number 1, email marketing's return on investment is $36 back for every dollar you spend on average. Tom mentioned at the open of this session, we've got a client that grew her business tenfold in less than a year just using email marketing. I talk to Patty periodically. She's got a promotional specialties business on the Atlantic coast near Daytona Beach. And she generates $150,000 in profit every month using email marketing. So I work with Constant Contact. These are all the things that Constant Contact can do for you. And you could try it free and get some free training as well if you just sign up for the free trial. And it is a totally free trial. There's no credit card needed. Go to thebestemailaoffer.com or scan that QR code with your smartphone. And if you're not sure exactly how to do it, let me know. I'm happy to help you. Number 2, if you want to learn more, scan this QR code or go to kenisemail.com/call or just drop me an email. Let's schedule some time together. And there's no sales pitch. Here at SCORE, we're here to help you generate more sales and grow your business. Lastly, importantly, call or text me. There's the number you can reach me at 24/7. If it's late at night, I may not answer right away, but I absolutely will get back to you. All right, let me go ahead and answer some of those questions that have come in, and then we'll turn it back over to Tom for any other closing comments. Nora's asking, what's the ideal number of hashtags to use? It depends on the business. You can feel comfortable using 10 to 20, but what I recommend you do is do a search using those hashtags that you're thinking about and see how many other businesses are already using them. They may be a good way for you to piggyback on hashtags that are already popular in your business. Donna says, hey, I'm doing this now, but not seeing much in results. How to find one that you have control over, what the content is, so it could be narrowed down in automated email. Donna, that's probably best for something for you and I to have a one-to-one conversation about. Happy to give you some tips on how to make it work better for you. Alexandra asks, how do you get the contacts to send your email to market to? What you do, Alexandra, is on your social pages, provide a link for them to sign up for your mailing list. Once again, same offer. If you're looking for ideas on how do you make that happen, I'm happy to spend time with you doing it. And good, I see you just connected with me on Alignable. Perfect. Aaron asks, are there specialized apps? Yeah, Aaron, you've had some really wonderful questions. I'm delighted that you've been so engaged. Set up a call with me and we'll make sure that your questions get answered. Okay, I think we've gotten everything in the chat. Okay. Tom, I'm going to turn it back to you and I'm going to wish everybody a great afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I look forward to having you attend another one of our events for SCORE Minnesota in the near future. Go ahead, Tom.
And thank you. And we will be featuring you again in a couple of weeks. So I'm looking forward to the next program with you. Just a few comments to share with those who have attended today. Thank you again all for taking the time to invest in attending this webinar. This QR code you see on the screen will help you if you're interested to become a mentor, to volunteer your expertise and time. And again, thank you for all the questions you submitted. And finally, always try to reach out, as you heard from Ken, score.org/Minnesota, at the very top right corner. You will see our phone number as well. Reach out to us with any questions, with any queries. As you heard at the top of the call today, I'll be sending out a preview of the next webinar. If you have not received our newsletter, that should be coming your way. Also, you'll be receiving a replay link to the program today, plus a copy of the presentation. And also be on the lookout for a program feedback evaluation form. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know how you thought of today's program and if you have any suggestions for future programs. So with that, again, thank you, Ken. Thanks everybody who attended. Have a pleasant rest of your day.
Bye, everybody. See you.